Rise and shine, beautiful souls. So listen, you can skip this video if you want to, but if you do, I promise you, you're gonna miss it, because what I have for you, I believe, is life-changing. I'll tell you a story first, okay? There's this sage, and this sage is always having people to travel from all walks of life. They're asking questions, just questions that people have. You know, we're curious about the universe or our own personal lives, and so people travel to ask him questions. So one day he has this guy come and ask him a question, and it seemed pretty simple. The guy just says, I want to be stronger, right? I want to be stronger. And Yogi said, well, this is simple. I can help you become stronger, right? So he takes him up this hill, this huge hill, and he takes him to this huge boulder, right? And he tells him, I want you to move this boulder, okay? Push it until you can make it move. I want you to spend the day pushing it, eat when you need to, use the restroom when you need to, but push this boulder until you can get it to move, okay? And if you reach the end of the day and you have not got it to move, you're gonna come back tomorrow. And if you reach the end of that day, you're gonna come back the next day. You're gonna continue this until you're able to move that stone, okay? The guy says, I trust you, I'll try it. So he begins to push this rock, okay? He pushes it with everything in him, and he started pushing so much to the point where he's sweating now, he's exhausted. By the end of the day, he realizes that he hasn't moved it, not even a centimeter. So he knows he has to come back the next day. So he walks back down the long hill, journeys back to where he comes from, and tomorrow he has to come back again. Okay, so he journeys back, climbs the long hill, the steep hill, and he pushes the rock again. And again, he reaches the end of the day, not able to make the rock move. So exhausted, he has to travel back home the same way as he did the day before. The next day, he has to go back again, okay? Now, several months have gone by, okay? And he hasn't been able to make this stone move, not one bit. And he's starting to feel discouraged now, because it's been a long time and he still hasn't seen any progression at all. You know, pretty sure some of y'all have been there, right? And so what happens is he goes back to the sage and he says, listen, I feel like you've been lying to me. I feel like you're wasting my time. I'm starting to just not believe in you anymore. I don't know. I'm trying everything. I've tried to make the rock move and it won't move. I'm trying to do what you asked. I've done it every day for months, you know, and it hasn't moved. And the yogi says, or the sage says to him, so you feel like you haven't gotten stronger? He said, no, I haven't gotten stronger. The rock hasn't moved. And he says to him, so you feel like you haven't gotten stronger? Do me a favor. And the guy said, what else you want me to do? I mean, haven't I done enough? I push the rock every day. I climb the hill every day, right? What else do you want me to do? And the sage says, look at your arms, right? Don't they look stronger, right? Don't they look more vascular, right? He says, feel them. Don't they feel more dense, right? Don't they feel stronger? He says, I can't lie. Yeah, they do. A lot more. Okay. Look at your chest. The guy looks at his chest. Feel your chest. He feels his chest. Doesn't it feel more dense? Doesn't it look more dense? Doesn't it look stronger? Doesn't it feel stronger? He says, yeah. He said, feel your legs. Guy, he begins to, of course, feel his legs, and he can automatically tell. And the sage is asking him, does it fit? And before he can get it out, the guy's like, okay, I admit it. I definitely feel stronger, but I still haven't been able to make that rock move, you know? So something's not right. I want to be able to move the rock. And the sage says to him, what did you come here and ask me to do? He said, well, I remember asking you to make me stronger. I remember asking you, how can I be stronger? He said, that's what you asked me, to be stronger. And you said you feel stronger. You said you look stronger. Well, let's see if you're stronger, right? So he says, let's take me to something else take me to the things that you felt weak in front of, which is what brought you to me, because you never saw this stone before you came to me and asked me. So I imagine you've never tried to move something that large. So take me to the things that were giving you trouble before, okay? So he and the yogi or the sage, they take a trip, and he takes him to the things that was giving him trouble before. And the first thing he tries to lift, he lifts it very easily, okay? He says, wow, okay, well, I don't know for real if I can't lift the next thing. He tries to lift the next thing, lifts it very easily. He said, okay, I don't know for certain if I can lift the next thing. I'm definitely stronger. And so he goes to the third thing, lifts it, and what do you know? He lifts it with no problem at all. At this point, he had to admit to the sage, you did it. Your advice worked. I am now stronger. In fact, I'm stronger than I've ever been. I have never been able to lift these things, and now I'm able to move them with ease. And the sage said to him, your problem was you got trapped, okay? You forgot your purpose, and you became focused on your environment and the things around you. That was the problem. See, you came to me and said you wanted to be strong, right? You wanted to be strong. But months later, you come back and you say, well, I couldn't move the rock. This tells me that you got off, you got distracted, right? Distracted, like when a rapper makes another song towards another rapper to get his focus to be on him so he can make a song back, and in turn, it boosts his own career. We call it a diss track, right? Distracted, right? Of course, when a train is on the track and it derails, we call it distracted, right? But I like to say things to make you remember, okay? Distract. You got your attention off and now focused on somebody else, and you should be focused on your own endeavors. Just like artists, when they're doing their thing, they're selling records, everybody likes them, and then somebody comes out with a diss track, and now you got to stop what you're doing, get off your mission, and make a diss track back to them, right? Just like this, we all do this in life, right? We have our goals, we have our ambitions, right? We have our endeavors that we want to pursue, but somewhere along the lines, we get lost. We start looking at other people's and their pursuit of their endeavors. And then we start comparing ourselves about how closer they are to their endeavors than we are, or how much more successful they are than we are. And now that begins to make us discouraged. So the focus is now off of you, and instead of being on you, you're focused on somebody else or something else, right? Say your goal is to accomplish making a certain amount of money, and now you get distracted because you see a car that you want today that you can't afford. You see a home that you want today that you can't afford. And now you're fixated on this home that you don't have, this car that you don't have. Just keep focusing on hitting your goals, family, right? Or you're going to begin to feel like this other person, totally deflated, even though you've changed, even though you've gotten stronger. See, on the journey to hit your goals, you become better. You become stronger. That's the amazing thing. See, on your journey to become built, if you're going to the gym every day, you get stronger. It's inevitable. It's inevitable, right? And the thing about it is other people can see that you're changing even more than you because you're not focused. You're around you all the time, so you don't see it. You don't see the change, but they do, and it's clear. See, the sage, he could see the guy walking up the hill every single day, and he could tell that he's changing. He could tell that he's getting stronger. Just like your friends and family around you can tell that you're changing, you're getting stronger, and you're doing this by pursuing your goals, right? Don't get discouraged because you haven't yet hit your goals. Look at yourself. Are you better than you were yesterday? Do you have more knowledge than you have yesterday? Even if you feel like you failed at something recently on the path to hitting your goals, did you learn from it? Did you learn something that you wouldn't have known had you not failed? Because failure can look like failure today, but tomorrow look like success. See, many people can lose. I lost my job 3 years ago, and it was the worst thing that happened to me. Fast forward 3 years later, it's the best thing that happened to me. Now, at that time, you couldn't tell me that. I just lost my job. I didn't know what I was going to do. But it made me stronger because I had to find something from within myself and never give up. I vowed to never have to work for somebody again because I was fired so easily after I cared about my job so much. So I worked my ass off to get to where I am today. I'm stronger than I was the day I lost my job. See what I'm saying? It's because I was up against something that I didn't expect to be up against. And while I'm not where I want to be, I can tell that I'm better than I was yesterday. I can tell I'm better than I was the day before. You understand? And that gives me courage. That gives me confidence knowing that if I'm becoming better, it's only a matter of time before I'm where I'm supposed to be. You understand? It's only a matter of time. We just have to stay consistent. And see, while you're becoming strong, you're building discipline. Just like that man, I want to become strong, but he built discipline now because he had to put in effort to get that strength. And he had to do it every day. He had to keep his mind fixed on moving something. We got to keep our minds fixed on moving something, right? And I promise you, if you do that, you'll see success, right? You'll see it. You'll see you bring you'll see you manifest the reality that you want into the real world. And you'll begin to live in that reality. You know what I mean? I'm hoping that resonates with some of you guys, you know? Too often we so easily looking outward instead of looking inward, and that's why we get discouraged, right? Go after your dreams, and going after your dreams rather, makes you stronger, makes you more confident, makes you worthy of your dream when you get there, right? I talked about this yesterday. Putting you right where you want to be sometimes could be the worst thing for you. Sometimes you're not worthy of being where you want to be at that moment. The person that you are today might not have enough to maintain what it is that you want in the future, right? You give somebody $1 billion today, they might be dead in a week. They couldn't even handle it. But if they worked for that $1 billion, during that work and their effort, they learned so much, right? In their failures, they learned something. In their success, they learned something. And now when they got this $1 billion, they were a billionaire long before they had the money. But if you give them $1 billion and they haven't put in any effort, does that truly make them a billionaire in here or just tangibly? Because a person who just received a lot of money and a person who earned a lot of money, trust me, in most cases, they behave differently with that money, right? And in most cases, it's the person that gets the money all of a sudden who wasn't prepared and didn't work for it that does the worst with the money. You understand? Anyway, family, I won't keep you. Be evolution. Be the change that you want to see. No candle loses its flame from lighting another. And if you were to ever find yourself in the middle of chaos, it's in that chaos that you have found yourself. Just like that guy pushing that rock. Peace.